Hello there. I decided to finally record a Benson game. As you can see, I have managed to sneak up on the east side of the map, and I'm basically behind enemy lines. And I see their low HP carrier, so obviously I want to finish him off. Because killing the carrier means that I as a DD will have much more freedom. So I used the basic smoke trick, basically offensive smokes. I use the vision granted to me by the other destroyer and smoke myself up so I can stay in cover. If you guys don't know how to offensively use smokes, I have made a separate guide on how to use offensive smokes. In this case, I decided I have to start moving because I can't afford to sit still in the smoke, because there's a risk that the Pensacola and the North Carolina will box me in if I stay there. So when the smoke runs out, I would be guaranteed dead, so I have to basically abandon my comfy little hiding zone. I managed to get away undetected though, so in the end it didn't really matter that much. I just blew a smoke. I'm a bit salty here in the chat at the moment because basically this ambush would have been perfect, but this Hatsuharu that's right next to me attempted to go and cap the enemy base. So as anyone who has ever played this game, you know that it starts blaring this loud alarm and it lets you know that someone is in your cap. So basically I was about to ambush their entire team, and this Hatsuharu decided to rush into their cap and basically blew the ambush entirely. But can't be too salty, shit happens. You can't always count on your teammates having a clue. I'm sure plenty of Japanese DDs know that feeling when you launch a full volley of torpedoes and then a US DD right next to you starts shooting at the guy you're launching torpedoes at, so he starts evading and then evades all your torpedoes. We've all been there, it happens, there's not much you can do. In this case though, I'm gonna try to get some hits in with the torpedoes. It's a bit iffy, the Benson torpedoes, I have the upgraded ones, so the range is only 8.2 kilometers and they're quite slow. But you can get quite a large spread if you spread them out, as I did. You saw, I took the predicted path and then I shot on both sides of the predicted path. So what I do is I create this like huge wall of torpedoes. You can see how it's widening and spreading out to basically increase my chances of getting a couple hits. So even though they are slow, for big slow ships like battleships, it's quite hard to evade the huge fan-like spread you make, which is what makes them in the end quite strong. Obviously you don't deal as much damage as IGN torpedoes, but still, they do a lot of damage. I did score a couple of hits. 2 hits. That's pretty decent. But most importantly of all right now is that he had flooding and he repaired it. So this is basically my chance to set him on fire and him not having any sort of way of repairing that fire. So naturally, I'm straight away starting to close in the distance between him. I stop, drop my smoke, and I start blasting him. I use the vision granted to me by the Hatsuharu, who's south of me. So the Hatsuharu gives me vision, and probably the Cleveland as well. They all give me vision of this guy, so I can sit in the smoke and go full blast on this Torpedo. Obviously the Torpedo is trying to shoot me, he's trying to get some sort of hits in here, but he has no idea where to shoot. Can I even launch a few torpedoes? Maybe I'll get lucky, maybe I won't. It's worth it. The cooldown is only like, with the upgrades, it's only 1 minute 20 seconds, so it's not too bad. What I'm really hoping for is that fire though. Oh, the Aoba is like, I'm gonna switching target in this case from the Torpedo to the Aoba, because the Aoba is lower tier, and he probably doesn't have the same upgrades, so I'll have a higher chance of setting a fire on the Aoba. Also, my puny little damage is more effective against an Aoba than it is against the Torpedo. Basically dealing 10k damage to a Torpedo barely scratches him, he uses 1 heal and it's gone. But on an Aoba it's more than a third of his HP gone permanently, so it's quite good. No fires, the RNG gods are not with me today. They seem pissed that I decided to get salty at the Hatsuharu, so now they're punishing me. that's what you get, I guess. Yeah, they're starting to get so far away now that it's starting to get a bit iffy to land. This is why I don't even use the upgraded. I don't even have the guns upgraded on this guy, like the range upgraded, because basically it takes so long for the shots to land at long ranges. Oh, and in New Mexico I got a fire on the first hit. Anyways, it takes so long for the shots to land that hitting anything besides battleship traveling in a straight line becomes so iffy that I don't think it's worth it to invest too heavily into range on the USDDs. If the projectiles were faster, sure, but when they're this slow, there's no point. Oh, and the guy I set on fire instantly gets torpedoed. Well, not much I can do about that. I'm gonna push up again. My smoke is ready. I never got to really use my defensive fire. Actually, the AA on the ship is quite decent when you use defensive fire. Like, not good by any means, but it's decent, and you can save yourself from torpedo cross drops and stuff like that. So I prefer using it above the speed boost. I obviously have the improved smoke and the improved repair, as I enjoy using them both. The improved smoke because I use offensive smokes a lot. If you don't know how to use offensive smokes, there's a vid on them on my channel. And of course the advanced repair for the 40-second cooldown on the repair. Now they're trying to cap our base, but our Hatsuharu has gone back into the camp. But the problem is there's a Cleveland rushing him. And I think he's detected as well. Yeah, he's detected by Cleveland. I think our Hatsuharu is very much dead. I don't see him surviving that. Now, the Benson itself, like most USDDs, torpedoes are pretty mediocre, but the guns are quite good. And for its tier, basically, it can beat any DDs 1v1. It can even put a good fight, it can even beat the Kagero. The Shimikaze, that gets a bit iffy because the Shimikaze has so much more HP and more DPM, so it becomes quite hard. But basically anything else, anything tier 8 and lower, you just crush. Even the Fubuki you crush, because his turrets move so slow that if you get close and maneuver around him, he can't keep up with his turret turn rate. So Fubukis you crush quite easily. And in general you crush pretty much all other ships as well, or well, all other DDs. Detected by the plane, but it's time for me to stop the ship and pop the smoke. I'm gonna utilize an offensive smoke again. It's my last smoke, but I'm hoping it will pay off. This Tirpitz, he panic evaded because I started shooting him, and he didn't realize until too late that he was actually turning into my torpedoes when I started shooting him. I would love to say that was entirely intentional, but I'm pretty sure it was just pure luck. But you usually get a reaction out of battleships, or well, basically any ships. If you pop a smoke and start shooting them, they tend to panic. I'm gonna see if I can... This Tirpitz is backing away, so I'm gonna see if I can help my friendly Tirpitz by putting some pain on this North Carolina. I need to adjust my ship a bit. You can move in the smoke and still remain undetected. You just have to make sure you don't make any too large movements, because you can easily pop out of your own smoke. And it's a bit painful to basically change your direction and try to get back in, because everyone will shoot at you, because they're all already aiming their guns at you because of all the shots flying from the smoke. These torpedoes, I did a huge fan-like spread again, like you saw earlier against the Tirpitz. So I'm basically guaranteeing myself that he'll have a hard time avoiding them. Yeah, he avoided the corpse from the Tirpitz, but I don't see him evading my huge fan spread. I'm already switching target. This Aoba, yeah, that was a lot of hits. That was 4 hits, and his engine broken. Now, I'm actually, at this point, I'm detected, my smoke has run out. So, what I do is actually, I charge him. No, I do not run from the cruiser, he killed my Hatsuharu. And you might notice that I switched to AP. I'm in fact not using HE, but I'm using AP. And I feel that's a mistake many DD players do, is they underestimate the power of their own guns. When you can see I'm turning around him, you can see his turrets can't keep up, he can't shoot at me. His turret turn rate is too slow to keep up. So he's trying to turn, now he has to turn his entire ship just to get a chance to turn his turrets at me. But because of my speed, he still can't keep up. That was the first volley he got to shoot at me. The entire rest of the time I avoided his turrets. And using AP, I could easily penetrate his armor from that range. And basically killed him. Solo Dayova, without any issues. That's the thing you have to keep in mind. When you are close to a ship, sometimes it's better to rush them. Of course the secondaries are always a problem, but if they have slow moving turrets, you can move faster than the turrets, because you are once again a very agile, quick little ship. But the problem comes when they actually finally get their guns aimed in on you. If you haven't killed them by then, you will either get instantly killed or eat massive damage. So there's this huge risk-reward sort of trade-off you do. And now I notice it's 1 minute 40, so I leave the cap. It takes 3 minutes for someone to solo cap. So, and it's of course faster with several, but I don't want to count on it because these turrets can just shoot at the guys who are in the cap. So instead I'm making the call to rush him and kill him off fast. I'm so much faster than he is, so I'm pretty certain I can hunt him down without any issues. The Benson is quite good at hunting down fleeing ships. And as you can see, I've already honed in on him, and now I'm just raining down damage on him. And I got a fire gang, so he's very much dead. And that's the second fire. Yep, this is a dead turret, and there's nothing he can do about it. Oh, and someone stole my kill. Oh well, it doesn't matter. We got the victory we wanted. And the XP is actually quite good. I managed to top the XP for my team. The Hatsuharu, that I thought was quite an idiot, actually managed to do quite well, even though he blew our entire ambush by going into the camp. And the ending damage is about 125k, which is quite good for a DD. That's something that might be easy to achieve on a battleship, but on a DD it gets a lot trickier, especially when you only have 7 torpedo hits. And that was my Benson commentary.